What I'm going to show you is the Manhattan Filet of New York. And the Manhattan Filet of New York is still a New York steak. It's just a little sexier than a New York steak, and that's why we call it the Manhattan. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down a little bit. By the way, don't fret. All this Kobe fat that I take off here, I'm going to show you what I do with that, or at least tell you. Don't have time to render this for you today, but we love to render us the Kobe. We render the Kobe fat, and we can either do a full hard render into hard fat, or we can do a soft render. And when the steak is prepared and ready to go out, we either take a microplane and shave the Kobe fat onto the steak. You dig that, don't you? Now, there's this little piece that runs right along here on the back of every strip loin. And what I'm going to show you right now is going to break the heart of every line cook in America, because every line cook in America knows that this is his part. What this does, we call this the knob. And if you've ever gotten a New York steak and that little piece that was kind of down there on the end, or more likely the little notch in your New York steak where there's just kind of a little missing spot, that's where that used to be, because that's what the line cook just had before he put it out. Since we can't make the strip loins any smaller, we're going to make the steak smaller and thicker. And to do that, we're going to have to cut it differently than we have traditionally cut the New York. So, you go to a restaurant and you order New York steak at 12 ounces, and you get something that's this thick. Yeah. The first thing that happens is you hear this cry of lament from the grill, because the guy on the grill knows that it takes about 18.5 seconds to go from rare to medium well. And so your potential of really getting a great, perfectly cooked medium rare steak on a steak that's that thick, really, 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 really narrow opportunity. God bless you if you get those. I don't know why, but I never do. This steak, this Manhattan Filet of New York, I can cook that to any temperature I want to cook it to. And my guys on the grill are going to say, thanks, chef, because we have a fair shot at this cooking thing now. I mean, we make it look easy. It may not be quite as easy as it looks. The bottom line is how our guests feel about the experience afterwards. And if our guests aren't happy, we didn't do anything. So this is my first opportunity to make my guests happier, is by providing them with the Manhattan Filet of New York as opposed to a standard New York steak.
So could you just tilt the flat side?